Today we're talking about how to get out of your own head. Many of us have all these plans and ideas and things that we want to do, but they never get outside of our heads. We know what we want to do. We sometimes write the goal, we write the vision, we have a plan, the plan has a plan, the plan's plan has a plan, but somehow we get stuck when it comes to actually doing. We can talk the talk, we can think the think, but when it comes to doing the do, something happens and we find ourselves in analysis paralysis. We find ourselves never actually getting to achieve the goal or get to the end result of where we want to go. And today we're going to talk about why that is, what it means to actually be stuck in your head, and what we can do about it. Because it can be really frustrating year after year, knowing what you want, having an idea of your goals, but never actually seeing the fruit of your ideas, seeing the fruit of your wants and your desires and your goals. And you spend so much time looking at other people and you start to idolize other people, and you're there looking out the window like, wow, this person's done this and they've achieved this and they're doing this. But when it comes to your own life, it's not the same. And you start to think maybe that person has something that you don't have, or that person's special or lucky, or they've got this super discipline and focus that you don't have. But actually, that isn't always true. So we're going to talk about how to get out of your own head. Being inside your own head means procrastinating, you knowing what you need to do but not doing it. It means self-sabotaging, talking yourself out of doing the things that you know you need to do. It means imposter syndrome. There are many ways and many things that we call it, but really and truly, it's actually just fear of the unknown and just being stuck in your own head. It can look like telling yourself that you're too old, you're too young, the market is saturated, there's no space for you, telling yourself that no one's going to listen to you, telling yourself that, you're not, you can't do it, who are you to do it? These are all things that we say, all the lies that we tell ourselves, all the things that we do to keep us in our head. Even though you know you're supposed to be doing it, somehow you make an excuse. Or maybe it's a fear of the unknown, or a fear of failure, or just an anxiety around, I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to pretend like it doesn't exist and not do it at all. All of those things, regardless of how it manifests, it is all you being stuck in your own head. You allowing limiting beliefs to keep you stuck and keep you from doing the thing that God has called you to do. And we've all been there, right? We've all had this analysis paralysis. Instead of just getting started, you plan, you overplan, you plan the plan. Or maybe when it comes to get started, you're like, oh, actually, I just need to watch more videos. I need to watch more YouTube videos. I need to listen to more audiobooks. And that's definitely been me, wanting to get more upskilled. Actually, no, I didn't. I just needed to make a start. Or actually, like, being a perfectionist. I don't want to start because I'm not perfect. Well, that defeats the whole purpose, because the more you start and do, the more you begin to perfect your craft. You can't be perfect if you've never started or never done anything. So regardless of what that stuff looks like, it's keeping you in here. And we want to get from in here to actually you tangibly holding, smelling, having the fruit of what it is that you want. So that could be you starting creating content, you starting the business, you writing those songs, you writing the poetry, you starting the podcast, you writing the children's book, whatever it is, starting that business, becoming a beauty brand ambassador, whatever your desire is, it's time to get out of your own head and actually start doing the do. This year is all about doing. We've planned enough. We've talked about it enough. We've prayed about it. Now is to actually start doing and start walking towards that. You don't need another degree. You don't need another qualification. You don't need no, it's just time to start doing it. And so what do you do to get out of your head? Number one is recognizing that you're in your head. Sometimes it's easy to blame everybody else apart from ourselves. It's easy to blame the government, to blame society, to blame our parents, to blame the trauma, to blame the people around us. And actually, never really looking at ourselves and looking within. The first thing is to recognize that you have a part to play. You're the one that's keeping yourself stuck. You're the one keeping yourself in your head. You need to get out of your own head. And that's the first thing, being self-aware that you are keeping yourself stuck. You are making excuses that are holding you back. You are literally have the key in your hand that is locking you from doing and fulfilling the things that you're supposed to do. That's you. So the first thing is being aware that you have a part to play. The second thing is actually realize that you can do something about it. Yes, you've been keeping yourself stuck, but actually there is power in acknowledging that. And then there's also power in knowing that you can do something about it. You can change your situation. You can change what you've been saying about yourself. You can change, and you are the one that holds the key to that. Again, you can change what you've been saying about yourself, about your situation. If I think and ask you right now, what have been the last 10 words that you've said about yourself to yourself? Have you been constantly been praising yourself, constantly been negative, or do you constantly tell yourself that you're silly, you're stupid, you're not good enough, you can't do this, and talking yourself out of it? And we tend to speak so harshly and criticize ourselves so much that we would never dare say any of the stuff we say about ourselves to other people. But somehow it's socially acceptable to say it to ourselves. So what are you saying about yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? Are you constantly looking at yourself as somebody who's like this big? You look at yourself as a grasshopper, or you look at yourself as somebody who can't do anything. You think, who's gonna listen to me? Who's gonna watch my videos? Who's gonna, order my toolkits? Who's going to purchase my service or my product? No, like that mindset, you have to recognize that you need to change that mindset, because it's not going to get you anywhere. It hasn't gotten you anywhere this far. And unless that mindset changes, nothing will change in your life. Changing that mindset of how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you look at yourself is essential. And the thing that I always do that really helps me is I get in the Bible, I get in the Word, and I see, who has God made me to be? What does God say about me? And I really use the Word of God to help transform my mind and how I see myself. The Word of God says, I am more than a conqueror. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So why would I look down on myself when God sees me as the apple of his eye? How would I look at myself as anything other than that? Because that's God's standard for me. So that means that that's who I am. So if you're struggling with how you view yourself and how you see yourself, really like Google, if you must, God's promises for myself or God's promises over me, and start to speak and declare those things over yourself until you see yourself the way that God sees you. Because you can't get out of your head and you can't do the things that God has planned and purposed for you if you look down on yourself, if you don't see yourself as anything. You see yourself as somebody at the bottom of somebody else's shoe. Like you can't, like you see yourself as nothing, as not worthy anything, of not being valued, worthy. You're not worthy of anybody giving you time or anybody buying your products. Like that's a mindset shift, and that will always keep you stuck, because you always have the mentality of, who am I can't do that. That's for these kind of people, and that's for these type of people. No, it's for you. It is for you. So be aware that you're keeping yourself stuck. The second thing is being aware that you can do something about it. And actively, number 3 is making a decision. Make a decision that enough is enough. You've been stuck for too long. Now is the time to actually get started. So you start scared, you start nervous, you start not having the full plan, you start feeling like an imposter, you start feeling like a fraud, you start, even though you're a procrastinator, you start even though you're not fully disciplined. All you have to do is get started. And the moment you take that first step, the second step will become clearer, the third step will become clearer. But we're waiting to have all the plan in place before we get started. But that's not how life works. You just have to make a decision that you're going to start. You have to make a decision that you want more for this year than you've had in the past. Be sick and tired of being complacent, of just getting by, being comfortable and doing the bare minimum. Look, I want you to think, imagine this is the 31st of December and you're looking back over this year. Are you going to be happy with just doing the bare minimum, just getting by, just being comfortable? If the answer is yes, continue. If the answer is no, it's time to make a decision that you need to do something different. You have to make a decision that this is going to be your best year. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to do it for you. Sadly, you're going to have to do something. You have to pull up your socks and it's time to start moving. Stop labeling yourself as I'm not disciplined, or I'm not a speaker, or I can't speak in public, or I'm shy. No, we're getting outside of our comfort zone this year. We're not staying stuck. We are moving beyond the limitations we've been holding in our minds that are keeping us stuck. And one thing that I'm excited to announce, actually, that would really, really help, I believe, a lot of women, is something that I've been working on for a while. And I had no intentions, actually, to say it in this video, but it kind of feels right. I've been waiting for the right moment. Maybe this has actually just been me getting in my own head. But if you don't know, I'm a qualified personal development coach and a business coach, and I speak to a lot of women around the world. And I've always worked one-to-one with women, and I love what I do. I love it when I come and speak to women who feel stuck, who are unsure, who know that they're made for more, but they just don't know how to get started. They don't know what to do, or they may just be unsure and need somebody to help them on their journey. And that's always been something that I absolutely love doing. And since then, I've been thinking, what else could I do that could help more women? Because one-to-one coaching is quite time consuming. And I mean, I've got 24 hours in a day, right? So I decided, and I came up with an amazing network, which I'm excited to announce today. And this is the Influential Women Network. Influential Women is a space for every woman to discover her voice, her power, and her purpose. So it's a global community for women called to lead, influence, and grow in their faith. It includes all things leadership, entrepreneurship, and personal development. And the mission behind it is to empower women worldwide to step into their God-given purpose. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not an influential woman. Yes, you are. You are the influential woman. This is for everybody. If you are selling fruit and veg in a market, this is for you. If you're in the boardroom, this is for you. We all have some area of influence, regardless of where we are in life. We have some influence. Whether you're a stay-at-home mum, you're influencing your home, your environment, your family, your community. You have influence. So we are coming together as influential women from around the world to help encourage, inspire, and really walk and step into who God is calling us to be as women. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I've never been a girl's girl. I grew up with two brothers, and I've always been that tomboy. I've always been part of the guys, part of the lads, and I've always been comfortable around the men. I thought women, in my own opinion, were just so full of drama. So I've never really been into this whole women's thing. And it's not until last year that I really started to understand the power of women and what happens when women unite, when women come together, when women really come together for a common purpose. And there is just so much power in women coming together, women uniting. And the vision that I have for this thing is so amazing. It is people coming from all walks of life, coming together to form a sisterhood, to empower one another. We will have workshops, we'll have seminars, we will have masterclasses, we'll be learning from each other. Like I was speaking to a woman that I met on social media, and she was teaching me about cryptocurrency. I had never seen a woman talk about crypto before, and she was telling me about cryptocurrency, and I was learning from her. Now imagine a group and a connection and network of sisters who are so strong in their area of influence. So one can be great at crypto, another at cooking, another at baking, another one at personal development, another one in finance, another one in banking, another one in sales. And we come together and we share our expertise and we empower one another. Like, how powerful is that? We will become a force to be reckoned with. And there is just something so special about women coming together and uniting. Like, this is a safe space, and this is a private community, completely free to join. But this is only for people who are serious, people who want to take their personal development to a whole other level. And I love being on YouTube, but sometimes it's limited in what we can do. And this is really a space for everybody to come together. It's not just me, it's everybody sharing. It's everybody coming together, sharing ideas and learning and leaning on each other. And I'm really excited for this space. Please only join if you are serious about your personal development, if you're serious about growing, because there is no one that's going to be a fly on the wall. The community manager will be removing all non-serious candidates. I would rather have 5 women in that network who are passionate about personal development, passionate about really stewarding the gifts and the talents that God has given them, than 50 women who are just there to see. It's not a platform for you to just see. It's a platform for people who want to do the do, walk the walk, and have a women who are wanting to do the same and learn from them. So if this is something that is of interest to you, and you're tired of staying in your head, you're tired of just doing the same thing every time but not getting the results, you're tired of doing life alone, you're tired of staying stuck, stagnant, and not growing, then this is the platform and the space for you. The Influential Woman is you. So don't look down upon yourself. Don't say, oh, it's not for me. Yes, it is. As long as you're a woman, I'm not going to define what that is because the world can be crazy now. But if you're a woman looking for a sisterhood, a network, you want to grow, then this is the platform for you. There will be a link in the description below. Please go ahead and sign up and register, and we will be so excited to welcome you to the Influential Woman. I am personally excited to have you, and I'm looking forward to all that God is going to do through this network, through this sisterhood, and you don't want to be left behind. So definitely go ahead and join. And if you have a friend, a sister, an aunt, anybody who you think will benefit from this, then go ahead and share this video with them, because you better join now whilst it's still free, because it might not always be free, is all I'm saying. Don't be left behind. And really, like, now is the time to get out of your head. And even if you find yourself in your head about this, it's a sign. Like, it's telling you, it's a sign. Get out of your head and just click the link below and sign up. It's free. You've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain if you want to live the life that God has called you in this year and step into your area and your power of influence as the Influential Woman. We would be excited to have you, and we will see you on that private group, that private safe space. And if not, I will see you in my next video.